10:15. Having a look at the back. China is going to fly soon from Lemous. He better get cracking because there'll be another elimination tomorrow morning. And it's good to see Laurie making some progress. I guess she just thought she'd leave it all to yesterday afternoon. And down this way, Kinga is walking down the slope beside the glacier. So I don't know if that means there was northerly winds and she couldn't launch already or what the story is there. But Richie's managed to fly. And he's got a nice little climb here from sunny faces. They won't be sunny for too long because they're facing northeast. And he's heading down this way. Now, I've gone this way before on my Dolomites to Interlaken and Volbiv, and I ended up getting pretty trapped with very strong northerly winds coming through here. So I'm pretty worried about going down this way. As the day comes on, the winds will get stronger. So I hope that he pushes towards Kur in the top left there. Slovenian and Romanian are also flying nearby, so whether they'll meet up with Rich later in the day we'll see. The German still hasn't launched, but she looks like she's about ready to go on an east facing hill. She's basically out of the worst of the windy funnels where she is. That's where Richie wants to get to, I reckon, as a first step, and they hopefully should get here by the end of the day. So these guys are thermaling and probably looking to fly to Nissen, and we'll see if that's possible. And the guys at Nissen have kicked off already, so good morning facing hill this one, and they'll be hoping to around Mont Blanc today. And then jumping ahead to those guys who left the Chamonix Valley last night. Tongi didn't make it across the Rhone Valley, which was a bit of a bummer for him because he was with the leaders the night before. And Sepp flying, a whole bunch of guys here that will be chasing Chrigel. So both Maxime and Chrigel have climbed up, but it looks like they haven't launched just yet. Also, Mr. Guschelbauer has crossed the valley and he's been hiking up. He's on an east-facing slope, ready to go as well. Excuse the background noise. I'm dealing with Spanish bureaucracy to get my gliding safety thing sorted. But yeah, the Chrigel's about to tag the turn point, 5 or 6k radius or whatever it is. A whole bunch of people have pretty much caught Maxime. So there's the guys at the Petit Saint Bernard Pass, and then there's the guys lining up to cross the Rhone after flying from Nissen this morning, and then there's the guys that are trying to cross, and it looks like they're managing. There you go. I guess it's still fairly early, just after midday. Well done. And back here, Richie has landed, but he's high. Slovenians managed to push forward on the range. German, she landed. And Thomas doing well. And how's Laurie going? Looks like New Zealand still hasn't launched. But China has. It's 2:20 and I'm just out after dealing with Spanish bureaucrats. I think I've made some progress, but over 2 hours, much easier to fly a glider than to deal with all that mystifying paperwork. But it looks like Laurie has landed short of the turn point. That sucks in the middle of the day. The Chinese guy's on his way. Kinga, she was flying. What's she done? She's slope landed, is she? I don't know. Looks like she's trying to soar, but losing height. I don't know. Richie has decked it in the valley, and they're trying to find a launch to soar up from. I'm not quite sure why you can't just fly to somewhere to soar. I don't know. It's tough. The Slovenian hasn't made it either, but the German and the Romanian are through. They're heading up pretty close to Oberalp Pass. The German's about to cross by the looks of it. And then looks like the guys did manage to fly over, although Canadian maybe not. What's he up to? So he's slope landed and he'll walk over, I guess. But the other guys have, yeah, they've managed to fly in. Logan, the Austrian girl Elizabeth, and the Japanese fella, and between them, not much until we get to these guys. Are still looking at crossing the Rhone. Looks to have made it across, and really, yeah, there's a few guys going around, but really what we want to see is the lead gaggle. If you don't include Chrigel, has Maxime broken away from him? Yep, looks like it. So Maxime, there's Aaron Durigatti. Maxime has tagged Spitzer, and we've also got Damien up there, Pal, and Paul Gushabau. He's made a good comeback. And Maxime is flying with paddle. I thought it was Chrigel there for a moment, but his track is quite a ways further ahead. So what route are they going to take? They've just gone past Domodossola. I remember this area from previous x-alps. And a long way to go to the next turn point, so there's lots of different options. It's nearly 4 o'clock and Chrigel is a little low. Maxime and a whole bunch of guys are pretty close behind him, maybe 20 k's, 30 k's. And Pal has taken a different line, so he's coming second, and Paul Gushabau has also taken a different line again. He's going more south, so interesting times. Just thought I'd talk about some flying I had here back in the day between Domodossola and Lago Maggiore. And yeah, it was cranking, really fun flying with strong lift and lift everywhere until I crossed the lake, and then it was a totally different story. Half as good climbs and half the height with the cloud bases and everything. So it really just depends how close you are, and deeper in the mountains is usually better, and out in the flats you have inversions. So you could see that today with the people who went further south, they weren't climbing as high. And Chrigel stuck around for ages to try and push through the inversion in the deeper mountains and got up eventually. It's 5 p.m. and this is super exciting. There's a few of us on the chat group watching this. So Tanguy at the back there, but the rest of the French are pretty close, the French guys anyway. So Durigatti down there. Is he walking or is he landed, or is his tracking got an issue? Oh, it looks like he has, because he has landed. So Paul took a different route, didn't work out for him. Pal came in very low, like just above the height of that bump over the lake there, but he's managing to hang in there, and he was in the lead for a while because Chrigel got stuck up here. You can see the red track, he was just searching. He was around 1500, I think. And meanwhile, Maxime was not too far behind at 3,000 metres, but Chrigel managed to get close to 3,000 metres just before Maxime came in, and then he's getting away now, but you can see he scratched around a bit himself. So paddles come in, Damien's there as well. And so this is what I was talking about with the valley inversions, and it took a bit of fighting, but it was worth it because, yeah, a few of the guys glided down to land in Locarno from here. Tim Alongi and Aaron Durigatti and Sepp, Tobias, Toma, he's doing well, and Tanguy. Oh, it's been a hard day for me on the paperwork after 6 p.m. now. Let's see how the guys are doing. So it's awesome. Chrigel is still got his lead, but Pal's line is starting to diverge, and he's just behind. He's been scratching low over these small hills, Pal, and Chrigel's got caught a few times, but so has Maxime. Maxime's generally been high the times I've looked, but he's still been slowed down a bit. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of guys in the chase. And Paul Gushabau, I thought there was something wrong with his tracking because it stopped on the side of a hill, but he just landed in someone's veggie patch and he's taken off and flying again. But has he landed again? It's pretty incredible because it's mostly trees there. Yeah, those guys are crossing Domodossola. And Tanguy, what's Tanguy up to? Has he managed to tag the Spitzer? I don't know what he's doing there. Oh, there's just too much going on. So, who Oh, the guys from the Nissan have got through to the pass. That's cool. That's a good day for them. And a few more have just got through to the Nissan. So just the tracks of those on their way to finish. Germany and Romania have been walking for quite some time. Germans just on the Furka Pass now for the final glide into the Rhone. Slovenian and Australian have flying. I think both of them not for so long. King is also flying. China, who knows? Laurie, not sure.
It's pretty exciting. Chrigel's last height was 655 metres above sea level. Maxime is much higher than that, nearly 1,000 metres high, around about. Pal has landed in this tiny little someone's backyard, like surrounded by forest. I guess he's going to hike up a hill, but he might not be able to fly today again. And Damien is just crossed in there. Patrick has slipped down to ground level, must be right next to Locarno airspace. So he's glided from where Aaron Durigatti and Tim Longy have top landed. Looks like they've just taken off again. Tobias is in the valley. Paul Gushabau has also landed in the soccer field. And yes, so much going on. There's a few showers about, but it's a day to stay in the air, and they're riding the valley winds. I don't know how. I guess Chrigel's going to land and walk soon. It's 7:20, so yeah. Just 10 minutes or so until they have to land. Maxime got a little higher because his crossing wasn't quite so far, so he flew past Chrigel, and Damien might do the same to Maxime. We've got Tom and Tobias still flying. They'll have to land soon. And yeah, it's been a good day for a lot of people. So yeah, really what you want to do is slow down a bit towards the end of the day and get nice and high so you can just use the last of the day. Like the bigger peaks will tend to work a bit longer. So if you can get really high and then go for a good long glide, then that's the way to do it. But it doesn't always go to plan, the X-alps.